Hello, welcome back. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ajay. If you do know, well, then you know. Today's video is 10 things that I've learned throughout this pandemic. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to my mom. Today is her birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. All of y'all comment down below, happy birthday. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. You know, we true to this, not new to this. So y'all already know what it is. All right, enjoy. We are back at it again with the pillow. Also, shout out to my socks. No reason at all, just socks are cool and fun. But also, we are back with the journal because you girl needs some guidance. But let's get right into it. Lesson 1. First of all, I want to say that most of these lessons, I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, how did you not know this before? But it's not that I didn't know before, but it's just that those lessons, it's like a lot of stuff that you just know, but it just becomes solidified when you go through things or just things happen in your life. So a lot of these I've already known, but I was put in a position to where like I had no choice but to face it and to really know that these things are true. So the first one, God is in control, complete control of everything. Now, like I said, people are gonna sit here and be like, well, duh. That's like the first thing you learn, right? But I mean, to go through a pandemic and to really see like we really don't have control over everything, and to be in the United States who has handled literally everything super poorly since everything has started, you know, you don't have a choice right now but to trust God and to really put the control in His hands, because I mean a lot of people are losing their jobs or having to find new jobs or add on more jobs onto the jobs that they're already taking on, plus kids trying to navigate online schooling, just so many things happening. And like for me, I'm trying to find a job, so there's just so much going on that people are having to deal with. So I feel like that single lesson has really been like solidified. Like if you did not think that God was in control before, you have no choice but to trust Him in these times, because so much is so out of our control. Like there's just nothing that we can do but wait and let the Lord do what He's going to do. 2, healing is hard. Now I already knew this, you know, but because we were put in quarantine, and even though I've taken it upon myself to really try to heal from my childhood trauma and everything else, really last year, we're in quarantine, so we literally have nothing else going on. Like granted, I still had to graduate, I still had to take my certification exam, and obviously I'm trying to find a job and stuff, but I've had so much time to really just sit here and look at myself, and it's just, it's a lot. Healing, trying to look at yourself and be aware of the things that you're doing or you just have going on within yourself. It's difficult. Like it's worth it by all means, but it's so difficult trying to pretty much tear yourself down just to build yourself back up into the person that you want to be, and trying to unlearn things or realize the things that you need to unlearn. It is just really difficult. So healing is hard, but worth it. Number 3, triggers suck. So what I mean by triggers is like when you are trying to heal, there are a lot of things that either like remind you of what you're trying to heal from, or just things that you may not like, but you out of habit or just within your character you just do because as a response to something else. So like let's say you have an issue with anger and you know that you don't want to be an angry person, or you know that things just kind of set you off easy. Those things that set you off is just like, they can be everywhere, they can just be like instantaneous, and so like they just suck because you're just like, I don't want to be like this, but here we are. And so they just suck, and it's part of my healing process. So that's why this is probably one of the biggest lessons for me, because there's a lot of things that trigger me and I'm just like, why am I like this? But it's fine. Number 4, there are a lot of things that we need to unlearn, like as a generation, as a society, as a country. Like there's just so much going on, like between the pandemic, between the protests, and just everything that has been coming to light. There's just so much stuff that, like, I feel like older generations have kind of tried to keep the same or keep the norm that a lot of people, especially in my generation or close to our generation, are trying to unlearn or just change, because those old systems are not working. Clearly, those old ways of thinking and ways of going about life is just not feasible. Or just, why would you want to live that way? So there are a lot of things that we need to unlearn, and a lot of things within myself that I have to unlearn as well. Like I said, it's a part of my healing process, so it's just part of rebuilding and rebranding myself. Number 5, rest is essential. I know a lot of people are on this, like, the grind don't stop, I'll sleep when I'm dead, just a lot of things, and people often neglect sleep, neglect rest, and all that stuff. Rest sometimes is more essential than what you're doing. Although, like, working hard is important, and obviously perfecting your craft is important, and doing what you need to do to make sure that you're successful and doing what you want to do is all super important. But rest is just as, if not a little bit more important. There is no point in doing all this stuff if you're literally tired all the time. You can't function to your full capacity if you're not resting. And I didn't realize how much I hadn't rested until quarantine hit. Because especially these last 2 years, my grad program was not easy. And it took up so much time with clinicals, class, and everything. Trying to just keep up with everything and make sure that I'm staying on top of myself and stuff. I was not getting a lot of rest. Just was not, but it was just kind of, not even that I was just trying to grind too hard, but literally I just did not have the time to do stuff, and I had a lot of late nights, early mornings. And so when quarantine hit, my body was like, the world is shut down. That's a bet, because we are shutting down. And I literally slept so much. Like, I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually exhausted. And my body, like, if you're emotionally, mentally, or spiritually exhausted, it can transfer into physical exhaustion as well. So my body was already tired, but those other 3 elements added into my body being tired and just wanting to shut down and not wanting to do anything. So literally for weeks, I slept. And it was probably somewhat unhealthy, but I just didn't even realize how tired I was until everything stopped. And so please rest. Like, it's important. You don't have to stay up late every single day, all day. Like, it's okay. It is okay, and it's essential, and you need it. Like, it's literally part of your health. So make sure to stay on top of your rest and just stay on top of yourself. It's a part of health. Number 6. Know your value and your worth. Of course, I feel like this is being preached everywhere all the time. Know yourself, know your worth, know your value. Just even on a personal level, but for me, I think it really hit on a professional level, because I just graduated, I'm certified, I'm a licensed athletic trainer and everything, and our profession already has issues with value and worth. But because of the times that we are in, and trying to get a job, it's really easy to just get a little desperate, and you're just like, I just need a job. I'm almost willing to take almost anything. And I was actually presented with a unique opportunity to work at a specific place. And the place is great, like, don't get me wrong, the staff is great, the environment is great, what they do at that specific place is amazing. Like, I've never seen it before. And I would have learned some new things, but based on my education, the fact that I have a master's degree, my certifications, my license, and everything else that I've learned, it would have been insulting to myself to take that position because it was way under what I've invested in myself in. And so it's really hard because you're just like, okay, we're in a pandemic and you had a job opportunity, why would you not take that? Ooh, excuse me. Why would you not take that? But you shouldn't settle. You shouldn't grab at something just for the sake of, oh, I can have a job now, like I'll be okay, when you could potentially lose more than you gain. So you really just have to know your worth and know your value, and it's kind of hard to navigate that, especially being a newly grad, because you don't want to be out here like, I'm licensed, certified, and have a master's, so pay me the big bucks. But at the same time, you know, you shouldn't let anybody or yourself undercut you. Like, you do have the education, you do have the experience and everything else that's necessary, but you don't have to be lowballed either. So know your value, know your worth, because you are valuable and worthy to get what you deserve. Number 7, we as humans waste so much time. So much time, and we will never have time like this again. I know quarantine sucks, this pandemic sucks, we don't get to see people, we don't get to go anywhere, but literally we will never have this time back. And it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, I'm just ready for all of this to end. Like, just give me everything that I had before, let my life go back to normal and stuff like that. And that's okay to want that, but all the things that we could be doing in this time as we wait for I almost said world, but most of the world is already open. Well, as we wait for the country to open back up, you could be doing stuff like, what can you be doing for yourself that your later self will thank you for? Like, what skills could you be refining? What new hobbies or skills can you be learning? What are things that you didn't have time to do before that you could be doing now? Especially since we have the time now. So use your time, don't waste it. Time is something you will never ever get back. So yeah, it sucks to be in the position that we are, but also use your time wisely and make the best of it and the most of it, because you never know what you can learn about yourself or what you can add to yourself, because that only adds to your value, or just may add to the things that you love to do or your own interests. So really invest in the time that you have now and make the most and the best of it while it's here. Number 8, only you have the power to motivate yourself and get things done. So again, one of those lessons where you're just like, well, duh, like, why are you even saying this? But truly, I just talked about time, and even though we have all this time, we can get stuck into the whole, well, I'll have tomorrow, I'll have next week, we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so I'll get it done when I get it done. But every day that you waste is a day that you could be doing something else. And no one is gonna come in here and force you to do what you need to do to get you motivated. You literally have to motivate yourself. You could have 20 people hitting you up every single day telling you to do what you need to do or to work on something that you want to work on, but only you have the power to get it done and do it yourself. And self-motivation is really important. It's hard. There are a lot of days where I'm just like, I'm not feeling it today. But those days where you do make yourself get up, do the things that you want to do, and get the stuff that you get done, that you want to get done, feels so good. Like for me, I make a list every day of the things that I want to do, and just checking everything off really just satisfies me. So I try to get everything done as much as I can. Some stuff is repetitive just because I want to make it a routine, but other stuff may be new. So the new stuff I really try to get done, and if I don't, I just push it to the next day. But I really try not to do that anymore. But self-motivation is super key, super important, and only you have the power to do it. Like, other people can motivate you, but that motivation is temporary. When you motivate yourself, that can really last forever. So you have the power, use it. Number 9, You never know when the last time you'll see someone is or do something will be, so cherish every moment that you have with everyone. I know it's difficult. I know people do stuff to us all the time, and you may be angry or upset at something, and sometimes it gets hard. I'm going through a couple scenarios like that myself, but you really just have to think about all the people that have lost someone due to the virus, and they didn't think that that was going to be the last time that they saw them. You know, this virus is still rampant. It's still very much alive, so anything can happen. I don't wish that on anyone, and I'm still praying that everyone be safe and not have to deal with that, but you just never know. So really cherish the time that you have with people, the moments that you have with them, and you know, just do the best you can. You never know, and you never know when your own time is up. So really try to maximize your life and really just take advantage of the time you don't get back, and moments you don't get back either. So just cherish them while they are here, and cherish people while they are here, especially if you love them. And finally, number 10, God's love is a gift, and it is not performance based. Again, one of those things, well duh. But for me, I think before quarantine, I used to feel really guilty, like if I didn't do stuff, like, oh, I forgot to pray last night, or I just fell asleep because I was so tired that I didn't pray, or I didn't do my devotional yesterday like I was supposed to. You know, just different things, and I'm just like, and then if something negative happened, I would just be like, oh, I probably should have prayed, maybe that wouldn't have happened, or oh, I probably should have done my devotional, maybe I would have learned this sooner, and just different things. Like, I kind of was not stuck in that mindset, but I just always felt guilty when I felt like I was not just loving God like I should have, or just spending as much time with Him. And I think I just completely disregarded the fact that His love is not based on me. It's based on who He is truly. And that just really hit me during quarantine, and I'm still learning that and trying to release myself of the guilt of my performance within our relationship, or like just my efforts within my relationship with God. So it's a learning process, but it's also so just freeing and refreshing knowing that God doesn't love me because of what I do or because of my relationship with Him. Regardless of all that, He loves me because of who He is, and because His love is unconditional, and His love is bigger than anything we can even think or imagine. And His grace and mercy is sufficient for everything that I could ever do or not do. And so I don't have to worry about whether He loves me today or doesn't love me tomorrow, because He always loves me no matter what. And the same goes for you and everyone else. He loves you no matter what. So if you're feeling like me, or you struggle with that, you know, feeling guilty because, you know, you've had rough patches, or you've been stagnant, or you've just been questioning things, God doesn't love you any less. And He's never going to love you any less. He can only love you more. And to me, that's just like mind-blowing. But it just shows like God is so good, and He's so loving, and I have no words. I just be speechless because He's just so big. Like, we can't even think or imagine about how big He is, and I just feel so small, but He still cares for me, and He still cares for every single one of you, every single one of us, every single day, every second of the day. And that's so encouraging to me, and has been freeing and refreshing for me. Yeah, I hope that this video was enjoyable. I hope maybe you learned some stuff. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting. please like, subscribe, share, comment down below anything that you've been learning during quarantine, whether you've already learned it or maybe you're in the process of learning it. I would really like to hear like what people are learning through this time, because it's been 6 months now. So a number of things. I limited my lesson for this video to 10 lessons, but I had so much other things to talk about, so it was really hard to just like limit it. But I knew if I didn't limit it, this video was going to be way too long and I didn't want it. I'm hoping that it's not that long once I go through and edit it. But yeah, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.